Welcome back to my creator bootcamp. And yeah, as you can probably notice, we have a little bit of a different setup here today. We are at my desk. The desk that's always behind me, it's in front of me now. And that's the setup. And the reason we are in this particular setup today is because we are going to be editing today. And as you may notice by the runtime of this video, it's a little bit different than the other ones. This one is gonna be a little bit more relaxed, gonna be a little bit more uncut. I'm literally just going to be editing this video and you guys are gonna be like a fly on the wall watching me edit this video. So yeah, you don't have to watch this entire thing all at once. There are gonna be timestamps, there are gonna be markers, so you can go to a specific part of editing if that's what you're interested in. Have me on in the background as you're editing your own video, or you can just not watch it and click away if this is something you're not that interested in. That's fine too. I ask if you do that, please at least like the video and maybe comment and subscribe. And then you can leave. I don't care what you do after that. But yeah, enough talking. Let's get into my editing process. And okay, as you can see, we are in an empty project here. I do have the screen recording that I made for the research bit, so that's already in here. But now we have to go in and import all of our video and audio files. In my file explorer here, I know it's Windows, that may not be as sexy for you Apple people, but I like it better. Okay, so this is kind of how I organized my thing. This is the Trust Me I Think folder where I'm gonna have all my episodes. Click on it, and then we have episode 1, which is the nihilism episode. So I click that, and then this is just the background photo I had on in the background as I recorded. But as you can see, I have it split up into 2 things, one for video and one for audio. So if I click on the video, these are the 2 video files. Oh, that's an unpleasant frame. So as you can see, the layout I have for the recording is Trust Me I Think, episode 1, raw, as in raw recording, and then a basic kind of description of what the recording is, and then 01. So if I had multiple recordings of the research section, I would do 01, 02, and so on. Then as you can see, we have this intro folder here, and this is for an intro sequence that I recorded. This was very much on the spot. This wasn't even an idea when I was outlining the episode. It's just something I had before I started filming. So I have a couple green screen clips here that I want to use to make an intro, not only for this episode, but for the show in general. So we're going to get into that as well. And then if we go into audio, we have our audio recordings because I record my audio on a separate device. So we're going to import all that stuff into our Descript project. So first things first, we're going to make our folders, one for video and one for audio. And it's very important that not only your files on your file explorer, but also in your project are nice and organized. It's really annoying when you have a million gajillion files and they're all random and you don't really know what is what. It's a lot easier and smoother if it's organized. So organize your files. And then I usually have one other folder for graphics. This is just like if I import any videos or like pictures, images, or my screen recordings, I usually have a separate subfolder in here for screen recordings. For example, this screen recording I would throw in here, and then I'll throw the audio for it in the audio. But yeah, let's import our files now. So the audio I will import into the audio folder, just like that. And all the video I will import into the video folder, just like that. Boom, perfect. All our videos are imported and we can get started with editing our thing. Okay, now we are going to title our project, obviously. I'll do Trust Me I Think, Ep 1, Nihilism. Did I spell that right? I don't know. And this composition is going to be our raw composition. And now we are going to make our sequences. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to take our audio that was recorded separately and sync it to our video. For example, for the research clip, we'll take the research video file and then the research audio file. We'll select those two and then we'll do create sequence. and then we'll add in our speaker names, create sequence, boom. So this is what the sequence view looks like. So as you can see, this is the video file down here, and this is the audio. The top one is the one that we actually want to use. So first things first, we'll sync up the video and audio, make sure it's all synced. And I think I actually forgot to do a audio sync for this when I was recording, but it looks like they're already pretty lined up already. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the video files audio, and we're going to go over here and we're going to mute it. Since we do not want to hear that audio, we instead want to hear this audio. Perfect. Okay, so now we'll select the explain files, and then we'll create a sequence of those two, and we'll essentially do the same thing. And okay, as you can see, the sync point for these two is right here. We want to just line these up as best we can. Get really close with it. That seems about good. Then we'll mute our video audio because we don't want that. All right, perfect. And then we'll call this one the explain track. Done. I actually forgot that this screen recording here, this is actually part of the research section. So we actually want that to be in the research sequence as well, so we can sync that up with the recording. So I'm going to go into edit sequence, and then I'm going to go to add media, our screen recording here, and we'll do add new track. So now we can close our sequence and we can get started with editing our video. Okay, so now we're basically primed to start editing. And basically what a rough cut is, it's essentially just your entire video edited without any video effects or any audio effects. It's basically just your video with all the retakes removed, all the dead air removed, all the stuff that you don't want in the video, you cut that out and you basically sequence it up without any video or audio effects. And that is your rough cut. So let's get started then. The way that I do it with scripted videos where I'm literally reading off of a script, so there's a lot of retakes, is I usually just go to the last take that I do and I watch that one first, because chances are the last take is usually the one that I'm the most fine with. So I watch the last take first, and if I like it, I just delete all the previous takes and move on. If I don't like it, I watch the take before that until I'm happy with a take. So for example here, there's technically two takes. This one right here. Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Trust Me, I Think. And today I'm going to be teaching you guys about nihilism. So that's technically the first take, and then this one is the second take. Welcome to the very first episode of Trust Me, I Think. And today we're going to be talking about nihilism. Now, what do I know about nihilism? And this one is better. So since I like the second one better, we'll start with the second one and delete the first one. Now for my rough cuts, I tend to stay in the timeline a lot, because one thing about me is I'm very anal about dead spaces in between cuts. Like this little area of space right here where it's very short, it's literally 0.1 seconds long. I don't like to have any area of silence in my cuts. There's something about the pacing that I feel like it just throws it off and it feels a little off to me. I like to cut all these little micro silences out, so that's why I'm in the timeline a lot for my rough cut. So I'll chop this down a little bit. So now let's watch this take. Hello, welcome to the very first episode of Trust Me, I Think. And today we're going to be talking about nihilism. Now, what do I know about nihilism? Like you see that little inhale there? Yeah, I don't like that. That's no bueno for me. So I'll cut that out. And then if we rewatch it, nihilism. Now, what do I know about nihilism? That feels a lot better. I like my cuts to be like a continuous like flow, unless it's purposeful and I'm breaking things up for comedic reasons or something. I like everything to be like a continual, constant flow of me talking. Nihilism. Now, what do I know about nihilism? Nothing. I think it's just like the dead. I think it's. So as you can see, I messed up there and I redo it here. So I will take this and I will just chop it up here. And yeah, like you see this little tiny microscopic area of silence. I don't like that. I like that constant flow. This area of breath here, I think I'll keep that because that plays comedically, because it's like me, like it's me thinking. So I won't cut that out. Nihilism. Now, what do I know about nihilism? Nothing. I think it's just like the Debbie Downers philosophy. So, yeah, I don't know much about it. Okay, so there's a lot of broken up words and silences here, but I think it actually plays into the comedy of like me not knowing anything about this. Now, what do I know about nihilism? Nothing. I think it's just like the Debbie Downers philosophy. I actually think I'm going to cut this first nothing out because I'm basically saying the same thing here. So yeah, we're going to cut this out because it feels a little redundant. Don't know much about it, but that's okay because all I need is a quick 10 minutes and I got you. And yeah, as you can see, this is technically a second take. So we want to go with the second. Don't know much about it, but that's okay because all I need is a quick 10 minutes and yeah, I learned quick. So don't worry, I'll teach you. All right, perfect. That's basically our little intro before we get into our research section. Now, the intro sequence that I shot for, I think I want that to be at the very beginning of the video. So we're gonna make an empty scene here, and then we will add a little note here, intro sequence. Perfect. Okay, I actually think this whole entire section here, for some reason, my laptop's Wi-Fi wasn't working. So I was just like troubleshooting that. Here, you can see how frustrated I was. Why is it doing this freaking crap, bro? Why is it doing this freaking crap, bro? Look at the anger on that Ramdy's face. That is a Ramdy who is just trying to finish filming as soon as possible, but now he can't. So I'm just gonna cut all that stuff out, obviously. I think I say some more sensitive choice words later on as I'm fixing this, so I won't show myself cutting that out, but it's there. The next thing I'll do real quick is I'll add some markers to my script. This is not, you don't have to do this. I just like doing this, especially if you wanna add timestamps into your video. It's helpful to add markers in your script so that you can easily find them and find the timing of them. We'll do intro here, and then this section here is research. Just because it's kind of easier to see in the script and for timestamps, obviously. So a lot of my rough cut editing is literally just me replaying takes and seeing if I'm satisfied with the cut. Do you have to get this meticulous with it? Probably not, but sometimes there are just little things in editing that irk you and you just have to be a little annoying with it sometimes, you know? Okay, so one thing that is gonna be a little tricky about this research section is I don't want it to feel like I'm just reading at you. Even though that's what I'm doing, I'm just reading stuff I'm researching. That's not the point of what this section is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be you watching me research. It's supposed to be me struggling to research and find information in such a quick amount of time. So we want to emphasize that in our edit. I want to cut as much just plain reading as I can and more leave in spaces where I'm commenting on something I'm reading or I'm talking to the camera. So like this section here is more of me commenting on what I'm researching, and then nihilist, here we go. This whole bit here is me simply just reading what's on my screen. So we want to minimize this because that's just a little too boring. Stuff. Oh, I'm a nihilist, here we go. At its core, nihilism is the belief that life lacks intrinsic meaning, purpose, or objective value. This whole section where I read different types of nihilism, I think we want to cut all that out because it's too boring. And okay, now it's time for us to edit our explainer section. So first thing we will do is make a marker for explainer section. And okay, now let's chop this thing up. This one is gonna take a lot of chopping and cutting up because I was completely just talking out of my head. I did not know what I was saying, obviously. So I feel like I repeated a lot of the same stuff. I feel like a lot of the stuff I said probably isn't that funny. So we are going to cut out as much of the cringe stuff as possible and make it seem like I'm actually somewhat of a funny person. We're basically doing editing surgery here right now. I'm also gonna do studio sound on this. Where is it? Studio sound, because I used a shotgun mic for this, but it wasn't exactly pointed at me the entire time. So I probably picked up a lot of background noise and stuff. So we'll use studio sound and see if that helps. But then I took a look at my bed and I noticed my bed's just a little bit messy. Yeah, I had no idea what I was saying here or doing. I was really just like talking out my butt. So the idea I had was to like introduce the topic. I'd be like, oh, my bed's messy, but what's the point of making it if I'm just gonna get in it at the end of the day? It's almost like it doesn't matter. It's almost like nothing matters. Nihilism. And then we get into nihilism. So that was the idea here. Was it funny? Maybe. We can sure edit it to make it seem a little funnier. Ladies and gentlemen, that, my friends, is a common instance of nihilism. And today we are going to learn about nihilism, okay? I've studied it for many, many minutes, and I am now going to release that information onto you. So nihilism is a philosophy. And philosophy is basically... So there's a lot of dead air and dead spaces here. Some of it, I don't really feel like I have to cut out because it doesn't feel weird, but a lot of it I do feel like I have to cut out. So I'm just gonna go into my AI tools and shorten word gaps. And I'm just gonna shorten all these word gaps prematurely. And then if I feel like there's a gap that I wanna add back in, I'll add it back in. But yeah, that should save me some time. Philosophy. And nihilism is the philosophy. Nihilism. And nihilism is the philosophy. So yeah, I think a lot of the work in this section is just going to be cutting out these dead spaces where I'm thinking what to say next. Okay, so now we basically have the entire video rough cutted. So I have my my research section nice and rough cutted. I have my explainer section nice and rough cutted, and as you can see, the video's coming out to around 8-ish minutes. So now we're gonna rough cut the intro sequence of the video, this little bit here. First, we're gonna add in our audio, so our little intro VO here. So we're just gonna place that right here in this empty scene. And we did a lot of takes in this, so let's see what we got here. My name is Ramdy. 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 All right, we'll go with the last one. Delete all this. I'm not an expert on anything. 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 I like this one, so we'll go with this one. But you're here to learn something. 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 I like this one. But you're here to learn something. Cool, I like this one, so we'll go with that one. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. I think I like. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. I think I like this one. So we'll go with this one. Don't worry, you can trust me. I think. 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 Sure, we'll go with the last one. Cool, so this is basically our little intro voiceover here. My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me. I think. Hello, welcome to the very... And then we'll transition into the intro. So now we can grab our intro sequence video files. Okay, so this is gonna be the first clip that we use. I actually think we wanna split this up into scenes first. So this should be one scene, I believe. Yeah, I think we'll make this scene 1 This will be scene 2. This is going to be the one that has the 3 of me doing different things. And then this is going to be the final pose here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to find the bits that we like.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but...
Cool. So yeah, I do like this little head shake to kind of sync up to the voiceover. We'll use this one.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're...
Cool. Let me crop this first and then move this because they're gonna all be on screen at once. So this one will be on the right side. Let's turn off the opacity for this real quick since we don't need it. Let's see.
But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry.
I actually like that. I think that's fine.
But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that placement. So we'll make this one the middle one. So we can turn off that track. And then this one, I'm doing a bit of cooking and then I like smell it and it smells really bad. So let's see.
But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry.
I like that take. Let's see if we like any of the other ones.
But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you.
Yeah, I like that one a little better. It's a little stronger of a recoil. So this guy will be on the left side. This part would look a little something like this.
But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry.
For this part here, this is just our final pose.
Don't worry, you can trust me, I think.
And then again, I'm reacting to the I think, so we'll push that to like around there. Let's see how it looks.
Don't worry, you can trust me, I think. Hello, well.
And then we'll do a transition into
hello, welcome to
the intro. Cool, so now we have our whole video rough cutted. We have the intro rough cutted.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me, I think. Hello, welcome.
And then we have the rest of the video rough cutted. And yeah, again, it's around 8.5 minutes. Sounds like a good amount of time for me. Now we can get into the next phase of editing, which is the picture lock. So basically it's finalizing all the visuals of the video. So this is where we go ham on the video effects, any zooms, any graphics, any text, and everything that you literally see in the video, we finalize it here. So let's get started. Okay, so the way I do picture lock is I literally just watch the video and bit by bit, I add in effects that I think look good or look funny or would enhance any type of joke or something. I don't have a lot of effects like planned beforehand. I literally just like watch the video and I'm like, this would be funny if there was an effect for this here, or if I added a picture of this here, and then I just do that. This is a big first bite to chew. There's going to be a lot of effects here. So as you can see, I'm on a green screen. I've actually never used the chroma key effect. So just for curiosity, I want to use it and see how good it would look. Obviously we'd have to crop out the background.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but...
So it's not bad. Let's see. I'll zoom this up just a smidgen. Just a smidgen pigeon. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, I think in this I'm not an expert on anything, I want to do a nice little zoom in. So basically the way I want it to be like an animated zoom in. So instead of clicking on the video and creating an animation, what I do, which is a lot faster, is I just create a new scene. So this first scene is the normal frame I want. And then the second scene here is the zoomed in frame that I want. And then I literally just zoom into the framing I want to get. Let's say about here. And then I just add a transition in between scenes. I add a smart transition, which automatically animates it for me. So it looks like this.
Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're...
And that works
My
well.
name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything.
I don't know what background I want to use for any of this intro sequence. Okay, how about this? I think it would be cool if we had some text that popped up. We'll do a title. Okay, what font do we want to use for this? What font am I using for my actual banner? Bebas new. Okay, so we'll add this text here, and then I want an arrow. Let's see. Let's go with this one. See how that looks. Then we'll just position it like so. Maybe we'll move this up a little bit. And then we'll animate this text to come in. I think we'll just do a slide in. We'll have it slide in like that. We'll animate it by all instead of just word, even though there's only one word.
Is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on any. My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything.
So for this bit, I think it would be funny to do like not an expert. Let's lower the line height just a little bit. Let's see what 0.8 looks like. Cool. And then we'll scale it up just a tiny bit. And then I think we will do a period here. Just like really emphasize, not an expert. And then I think it'd be funny if there was like that red X out thing. I don't even know what it's called. Google is saying that it's called the no symbol. Yeah, this one. And we'll just plaster it over my face. Like so.
I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something.
So for these, we're gonna have to crop this out, which means that we're gonna have to make this just a tiny bit bigger to compensate for that. So we'll do that to the others too, to keep the same kind of size. The next idea here is that for the background, let's move on to this final pose first. So my idea for this is to have the words "trust me, I think" come above me.
You can trust me.
So I'll add a smart transition to these scenes here.
You can trust me.
And then I will add some text. I'll do "trust me." We'll do the first part of the title. We'll put it here. I want these guys to be behind my head.
You can trust me, I think.
Let me bring myself a little bit more down so that the comma doesn't look like a period. Cool. And then the second part of the title, which is I think we will put it here.
You can trust me, I think. Hello, welcome to the...
Okay, so this is the basic idea.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me, I think. Hello,
Cool. So now we just need to add in all the backgrounds. So we'll start with this one first, since it's going to be the most intensive, I feel. Basically, my idea is I'm going to divide the background into 3. So this one will be like a library or something. This one will be a kitchen. And then this one will be just like a basketball court. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a rectangle, and I'm just going to slim it down to make it like a line. And I'll just divide this background into thirds. Okay, now I'm gonna look for my backgrounds. So I'll do one library. Well, I'm just gonna choose whichever one I like and then just freeze frame it. So yeah, let's actually go with this background here. So then we're just going to add a freeze frame on it. Now we're just gonna crop it to our lines here. And then that's one background done. Should we blur it? Let's blur it just a tiny bit. That's perfect. All right, so now we just have to rearrange these layers a little bit. Then we'll see how it looks. So this one, let's bring it back. So it should look like that. This one, let's bring it back. And then this one, let's bring it back. Perfect. This rectangle, we'll bring it back as well. So the background here should look...
But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you.
Cool.
To learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach...
I think I'm actually also going to crop my body into these rectangles so that it doesn't feel like super busy. Let's test that out and see how that looks. Let's crop this guy like so. Done. And then basketball. We'll crop this guy over here like so. And then we'll bring the rectangles back up so they can be over us. Let's see how that looks.
Anything. But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can do anything. But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry.
Cool, that looks good. So that's this part of the intro sequence done. So now let's figure out what the backgrounds for this is gonna be. Now I was thinking, do I want it to look like my banner and profile picture where it's just like a brown texture? Let's see what this one looks like.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything.
Let me see if what it looks like if I do some color adjustments to it. If we like make it just a little darker. Maybe a bit more contrast to make it like a little bit more brown. Maybe something like this. Let's see, how do we like that?
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything. But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me. I think. Hello, welcome to...
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm fine with that. Now, I think the way I want to go about editing this part is just using a layout pack. I was looking at layout packs I could use, and I think I want to remix a layout pack. Let's just go with this one. Background, I want it to be more like brownish. That's good. And then the primary color, I guess we'll make it like a light, like whiter color, because I don't really have a lot of colors in my banner and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's good. So title, we'll make it the bebes nu, however you say that. Subtitle, I'm not sure what text I want the subtitle to be. Let's do this one, sure. Antenna condensed. Why not? And then we'll name this one. We'll do TMIT layout pack. We'll create it. So yeah, now we basically have our own layout pack, and that's what we're going to be using to edit the rest of this video. And okay, now let's get started with picture locking. Our first section here, our research section. Yeah, I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to watch it, and then where I see a place where I want to add an effect or zoom in or something, we're going to do that. So let's go.
Hello, welcome to the very first episode.
Okay, so first things first, we want to get rid of this like dual screen thing here. So we're just going to go into layout and then apply the camera layout. Perfect.
Hello, welcome to the very first episode of Trust Me, I Think. And today we're going to be talking about nihilism. Now, what do I...
Cool. So I think I'll just add a zoom in here. I don't like having it too long to where there's no visual changes, like where I'm just speaking to the camera for too extended a time. It's fine, but I feel like it drags the pacing just a little bit, or like it subconsciously makes it feel slower paced. So I usually like to add in like zoom ins and punch ins. I feel like it occupies the brain more to make longer videos feel shorter, which is that's always the main goal of editing, is making your video feel shorter than it is. And then here, I think I'll add like just search sad and see what pops up. Yeah, some video of like a person crying. Ooh, she has a wine glass, so she's really going through it. Let's go with that one. And then when we go into our final mix, we'll probably add some like sad music there or something. And then I also think I'm gonna add some color adjustment. And then, do we want it to be in black and white, or do we want it to be like bluish? Let's see. If we did like a bluish, I like that. Yeah, let's do like a blue tone.
About nihilism, I think it's just like the Debbie Downers philosophy. So, yeah, I don't know much about it.
Yeah, so I left this part in the rough cut, but I don't really like it now, so I think I'm just gonna cut it out. I feel like it's too much. So, just kind of waiting for me to say something. So I think I'm just gonna cut it to where I say, I don't know much about it.
Nihilism. Now, what do I know about nihilism? I think it's just like the Debbie Downers philosophy. I don't know much about it, but that's okay.
And then for I don't know much about it, we'll just do like a really big zoom in here, just so you can see all the nasty pores on my face.
Philosophy, I don't know much about it, but that's okay, because all I need is a quick 10 minutes, and yeah, I learned quick. So
I think I want to do like a quick zoom in when I snap, like
I learned quick,
like a punch in there. So the way I'll do that is I'll make it a new scene, and then I'll kind of figure out the framing of what I want for the punch in. Then again, I just add a smart transition in between two scenes.
I learned quick. So, and yeah, I learned quick. I'm gonna put 10 minutes on the timer, then we're gonna do some good old fashioned research. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Did I do it? I didn't do it. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so for this whole section here where I'm starting the timer, I think I want to do like a slow zoom in throughout that whole entire thing. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to make a scene where I want the whole zoom in. So I think I want it to start like around here, and I want it to stop around here.
Did I do it? I didn't do it. 3, 2, did I do it?
Like right here where I check if I did it. So this whole scene right here, all these clips, I want there to be a continuous zoom in while that's happening. And then I'm just going to select all of them and then just add an animation. I don't know if you need to select all of them to add an animation, to be honest. I think I just like to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna add an animation, and I'm gonna make sure it spans through all 3 of my clips. And then I'm gonna click on the last keyframe and then choose where I want the zoom in to end. So I want the frame to be about here, and then where we want it to start, I think we want it to start a little bit zoomed in, just a tiny bit. So like here. So that chooses where it starts and ends. Perfect. And then I'm gonna go into the keyframe settings, and I'm gonna change the easing to just none, so that it's just a linear line of zoom in instead of like a ease and curve. Because sometimes you do want that easing, but usually when it's like a slow zoom in, I just want a linear kind of slow zoom in. So we're gonna leave it like that, and then when we play it back,
I'll teach you. So I'm gonna put 10 minutes on the timer, then we're gonna do some good old fashioned research. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Did I do it? I didn't do it. 3.
Perfect. And then I think we'll do another scene here where it's zoomed in. So we'll have it zoomed in a little bit, like right here. So yeah, as you can see, I like to have like a lot of zoom ins and stuff because I feel like it makes it feel more engaging. Okay, now we want, for this part here, we are going to switch our layout to a screen. Do I want like where I'm small in the corner or where I'm a little bit bigger here? Or maybe this one, I kind of like this one. Yeah, let's go with this one. And then we will just change this source to my screen. Now the background, my background is just a plain background, but that's a little bit boring for me. So what I want to do instead is I want to take this background that I used for the intro over here. This is like textured background. And I want that to be the background instead. So I'm gonna paste it here. Then I'm gonna make sure it's on a loop, which is it already is. Then I'm just going to send it to the back behind me.
The first thing to do is,
I think this is fine, but I think it's a little bit too fast.
First thing to do is search up nihilism,
which is a little bit distracting. So I'm gonna see what like 0.3 looks like, 0.3 speed.
I guess the first thing to do is search up nihilism and see what
that feels a little bit better, just so it's not like there's not so much complete constant motion going on. So I think I want this background to be like the background in my layout pack. So I'm just gonna go to save as new layout. And then I'm gonna make sure it's in the screen. And then I'm going to, what should I call it? I'll just do screen recording with background. I cannot type for some reason. And then make sure it's saved to our layout pack and save. Okay, so now we basically have a minute of our video picture locked. So let's just go through and watch back and see what that looks like.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me, I think. Hello, welcome to the very first episode of Trust Me, I Think, and today we're gonna be talking about nihilism. Now, what do I know about nihilism? I think it's just like the Debbie Downers philosophy. I don't know much about it, but that's okay, because all I need is a quick 10 minutes, and yeah, I learned quick, so don't worry, I'll teach you. So, I'm gonna put 10 minutes on the timer, then we're gonna do some good old.
Okay, that's good. I actually think in this part here where I said all I need is a quick 10 minutes, I think I wanna have like a clock behind me when I say that. Cool, so we'll go with this one. And then I want this clock to be behind me when I say this, kind of appear behind me. So the way I'm gonna do that is first let's add this clock in here. Cool. Oh, it's a Harry Potter clock. I wouldn't know that because I never watched the movies. I know, I need to watch the movies. I know. Cool, so the way we're gonna do this is we are going to copy the script layer and then we are going to paste it. And then we are going to mute our video track so that we don't get double audio. And then we are going to add the green screen effect to our pasted video layer here. So that essentially rotoscopes me and allows me to put things behind me in my setting. So I think I want the clock to be like around here maybe. And then I want it to appear behind me. So we're gonna add an animation and then we'll have it like slide up behind us. Then we'll have it. Let's see how that looks.
But that's okay, because all I need is a.
Okay, and I think I actually want it to slide up when I say quick 10 minutes. So I'll have it slide up like right here.
Okay, because all I need is a quick 10 minutes and yeah, I learned quick.
Cool. So we'll just have to do the same thing here because it's a little bit zoomed in. So we'll do the same thing of copy and pasting, muting the track. And then I'm just going to click on the script track to see what the size and position is here. So it's 4779. And then I also move the Y axis a little bit, which is at 1328. So I'm just going to copy that for this. So we're just going to paste that here, 4779 and 1328. Perfect. So now we're in the same position, and then we're just going to do the same thing of adding the green screen effect. Boom. And then we want to make it look like the clock is moving in the zoom in as well. So we're going to double click on the clock in this scene so that it's only affecting the clock in this specific scene. And then we are just going to kind of eyeball it to see where it kind of was, to kind of give it the illusion of also being in the space and like zooming in with the camera. So that's a minute of our video essentially half done, because we just have to add music and sound effects, but that's done. So I feel like my favorite part about the picture lock stage is knowing that like this is it. Like this is the last time I have to touch this part of the video. As soon as I'm done with it and I'm happy with it and moving on, that's it. It's basically finalized. So that's pretty cool. And okay, now that we have our picture lock finished, now all we have to do is the final mix, which is basically adding in all of our music and all of our sound effects, and that's it. We're done with the video. Also, yes, this is a different day and I did shave, so I look presentable again. So let's start with our intro sequence and see what we want to do here. Now, I don't know what we want to do here. I don't know what music I want to have for this. Let's rewatch it and just see like what vibes come to my head.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something.
I'm low-key feeling like some classical music here. Let's see what that would feel like. Let's see if we search up classical. I want something like, I don't even know how to explain it. Just like a simple classical, not anything that's like dramatic. See, like this is very like dramatic and like cinematic. I want something a little simpler. So yeah, like I would say it's between rough cut and picture lock that takes the most time. Picture lock definitely takes the most effort, but a lot of the final mix is honestly just listening to music and sound effects over and over again and then seeing which one you like. I kind of like the vibes of this one. This is a little bit more simple, like I'm looking for, but it's not necessarily, I think I want more like strings. This seems to be the only piano. See, this song is more the vibe I'm looking for. Yeah. Yeah, let's see how this one fits. Okay, we only want it to span the length of our intro. Now first let's go into the properties and just lower the audio. Usually for music, I have my Descript set up to where it shows audio in dB instead of just percentage. If you want to do that, all you have to do is go into the settings and then here where it says show volume and decibels, toggle that on. But that's what I like to do because that's how other editing programs are. So that's just what I'm used to. And also the reason that I don't like changing audio here in this part, I personally like changing audio here in clip audio. One, because as you can see, the waveform changes with the audio when you change it here. But also, if you want to copy, like if I wanted to copy this music track or sound effect and paste it somewhere else, which I tend to do a lot with repeating sound effects, the volume also gets copied if you placed it here instead of over here. So that's why I like to change the clip audio volume instead of the just the regular audio volume. So let's see what -14 sounds like.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me, I think. Hello, welcome.
Okay, I like that. Let's see what -16 sounds like.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything.
Okay, I think I like that level better. Now I want to see what the ending of this song sounds like, because if we can have it end on the ending here, I think that would sound better. Let's see.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me, I think. Hello, welcome to the very first.
Okay, so the ending, I like that it has an outro that like feels natural, but I don't like the way it sounds. I definitely like the intro better. So let's see how we should go about this. Okay, so let's see if we can like stitch the two together so I can have the outro here, but have the sound of the intro.
Don't worry, you can trust me, I think.
Okay, so something like that, you know?
Don't worry. My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me, I think. Hello, welcome.
Okay, I think that works. So basically I just took the intro and kind of faded it out. And then I found a somewhat good spot for the outro to kind of come in that didn't feel too distracting. And then I faded it in here. I'll try to mask this fade with some sort of sound effect to maybe help it be less noticeable, but this is good. So I like that song for the intro. Now let's work on our sound effects.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert.
Okay, so for a lot of these like movements, like this like little move in here, I use the same sound effect every time in every one of my videos, which is the flash whoosh, flash whoosh swoosh 3. This is my guy. This is probably the sound effect I literally use the most in all my videos. And then I usually have the volume for this around a -6 to -12. Let's see what -6 sounds like first.
I'm not an expert on anything, but
okay, I think -6 is good for this. Sometimes you don't want to use -6, especially if you're using the effect a lot, because then it just kind of get tired of hearing it. So -12 is more subtle and nice. But I think -6 works here good because it's like a big movement.
I'm not an expert on anything, but.
And then here we want to have like some sort of error noise. Let's see how this one sounds first. We'll throw this in here. Okay, this is really loud, so we're probably gonna want this at like a -18. Let's see how that sounds.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but.
Okay, I think that's good.
You're here to learn something, so I'm gonna be.
Okay, for here, I think I want, first I want to have like some sort of like crash sound effect here when I drop the basketball. So for that, and then here maybe some like, I don't know, some kitchen or restaurant noise. I don't even know what that would be. Let's just search up kitchen and see what pops up. Yeah, that's good. So we'll have that, and then we'll pan it to the left side. So the way this pan works is if you point it all the way left, it only plays to the speaker on the left side, and same for the right, and then it's a mix of the both the more you have them in the middle. So I think I'm gonna pan it more to the left since it's on the left side of the screen, and then we'll lower it to, let's say, like -12.
You're here to learn something, so I'm gonna become an expert and teach you.
And then for this, for the basketball side, or let's search up basketball and see if they have like a basketball ambience. Okay, let's try this one.
But you're here to learn something, so I'm gonna become an expert and teach you.
Good, and I think we'll actually lower this to -14.
Here to learn something, so I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry.
Okay, now we want some crash sound effects. I like this one. So we'll go with this one. And then it's probably way too loud, so we'll make it a -10. Then we'll layer it all the way to the right. Then what's a good time for me to have it play? Well, let's see.
Learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and
yeah, I think we're gonna change the basket. I don't like that there's basketballs bouncing in the audio because I feel like it just, I don't know, it just feels too distracting. Let's see if we just do like a regular park. Or maybe the playground ambience works well. Instead, we'll do that. And then we'll make it a -12. Let's see.
But you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't.
Cool. Because now I want to use this basketball like dribble audio to like make it sound like the basketballs is like coming
So
away.
I'm gonna become.
I guess let's have our first dribble like over here. And then maybe push the crash back a little bit. Let's see, what does that sound like?
So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry. Become an expert and teach you. Don't worry.
All right, first, forgot we need to pan the basketball audio and also the crash audio. Oh, that's already, okay.
I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't.
Okay, let's bring the basketball dribble audio down.
I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me.
I guess we can make this a little longer.
So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me. I think.
Okay, cool. And then we'll add another flash swoosh here.
Don't worry, you can trust me.
Then we'll make this one a -12. Make it a little bit quieter.
You can trust. You can trust me. I think.
And then I think for the I think we want like a little ding sound effect. Ooh, I think I like this one. It's a little bit more higher pitched. Let's lower this to like -12. Let's see how that sounds.
I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me. I think. Hello, welcome to the.
Cool. And then I think we'll add one more swoosh. Right here.
Hello, welcome to the very first episode of Trust Me, I Think. And today.
Cool. So yeah, now we have 1.5 minutes of our video essentially done. So let's look it over and see how we like it. As you can see, the timeline is nice, and I think this is my favorite part of editing is like when you're close to the end and you're looking at the timeline and you're just like, wow, this looks like so nice and pretty. But yeah, now let's take a look at our video so far, our 1.5 minutes, and see what we got.
My name is Ramdy. I'm not an expert on anything, but you're here to learn something. So I'm gonna become an expert and teach you. Don't worry, you can trust me. I think. Hello, welcome to the very first episode of Trust Me, I Think, and today we're gonna be talking about nihilism. Now, what do I know about nihilism? I think it's just like the Debbie Downers philosophy. I don't know much about it, but that's okay, because all I need is a quick 10 minutes, and yeah, I learn quick, so don't worry, I'll teach you. So, I'm gonna put 10 minutes on the timer, then we're gonna do some good old-fashioned research. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Did I do it? I didn't do it. 3, 2, 1. There you go. All right. All right, time is going now. Okay. Okay, well, I guess the first thing to do is search up nihilism and see what comes up. Oh, Reddit, perfect. Reddit's like the best place to learn about something quickly because it's just a whole bunch of people telling you stuff, and clearly they can't be wrong. So let's see, explain like I'm 5. What is nihilism? As simple as possible, nothing matters, then you die and nothing happens. Cool, it's an interesting take. I guess I'm pretty right on the Debbie Downer stuff. Oh, I'm a nihilist, here we go. At its core, nihilism is the belief that life lacks intrinsic meaning, purpose, or objective value. The different types of nihilism: existential nihilism, the most famous version. It suggests that the universe is vast, cold, and indifferent, and that human life has no inherent point. Okay.
Cool. So yeah, as you can see, the audio adds like, it makes it that much better. Like during the picture lock stage, all that stuff was super entertaining and fun, but the sound effects and the music really just takes it to that other level of feeling engaging and being immersed in the video and being entertained. Like it's a very big touch to making a video feel finalized and polished and good. And it isn't even that much work, to be honest. It's just a matter of finding the music you like, finding the effects you like, and finding the right levels for it. That's really all it takes to add that extra layer of polish. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest of the video now. And okay, now's my favorite part of editing: exporting it and just being done with it. Now, if we go to the export tab, now there are a couple ways that you can export it. First of all, you want to choose your resolution. So you always want to choose the max resolution you can. For me, it's 4K because I filmed in 4K. And then there are 2 ways that you can export your video. One, you can use the local export if you want. There's really no reason you might want to do this. Maybe if you want to add like metadata into your video or have some extra audio settings, but in like 99.99999999999% of cases, you would want to use the other option, which is make a Descript web link and then just download it from there. Now you can also upload it straight to YouTube or any of these platforms, but I like to just use the Descript web link. So I will just do that, and then I will just do publish, and that's it. My video is published. Now I have a Descript web link, so if I open the share page, as you can see, it's rendering right now. But yeah, now I can send this link to anybody I want. I can send it to a coworker, I can send it to a collaborator, I can send it to anyone who I want to review my video and give me notes. I can easily send them this link and they can easily watch my video. And then all I have to do to download the video is just click on this little download button right here, and it'll start my download for me. Now there are a couple other things you can export in this export tab for your video. You can export your audio, obviously. Export timeline. This is something that I don't know if a lot of people know about, but I think it's, super helpful, especially if you're someone who still uses Premiere and stuff like that, which, I do. I learned editing on Premiere. I still use Premiere in certain cases. And sometimes there are some things that you might need Premiere Pro for or After Effects for. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't or shouldn't use Descript, because you can just export your timeline into Premiere. If I wanted to take this video and I wanted to do some more effects or stuff like that, I can just go to my timeline here, export timeline, and then I can just export it in any format I want. You can do the Pro Tools, you can do Audition, Final Cut, DaVinci, but I use Premiere, so I'll just click on Premiere. And then you can fine tune the settings here to match what you need. And then you can export the timeline. Then it basically turns into a Premiere Pro project for me, and I can just continue or finalize anything I want to do in Premiere. So even if you're someone who prefers using Premiere or still wants to use Premiere, you don't have to give it up to use Descript. I don't. I personally use both, and this makes it that much easier to just seamlessly integrate any potential workflows. So that export timeline option is super useful if you want to do that. You can export your transcript. You can export your transcript into any formats here. You can export it into a Word doc, into a text doc, into anything you want. This is really helpful if you just want a transcript of, you know, a podcast or a study session, I don't know, anything like that. And then subtitles, this is one that I use a lot, that we use a lot at Descript for our videos, because we have this transcript here that's perfect and accurate. So we can export our transcript into an SRT file, which is basically like a subtitles or captions file. And then we can import that file when we're uploading our video on YouTube, and it'll be able to give us nice embedded captions into our YouTube videos instead of like the auto-generated ones that are never accurate. So that's super useful too. But that's it, video done. We pretty much are ready to upload and post. So your homework this week is to edit your video. You can use the workflow that I use. You can have me on in the background for any tips and tricks you want to use to edit your video a little easier. But yeah, edit your video. Remember to take breaks and to try things and to have fun with it. And if you need help, you can always use Underlord down here and just tell it to help you with anything, and then it would do it for you. And in our next video, we are going to focus on everything about posting our video. So that's titles, thumbnails, descriptions, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I feel like I've been editing for really long, and I'm gonna go stand up and get a cookie, I guess. All right, bye.